Hey hotties, how are you doing? Happy New Year. I hope it's going well for you so far. I mean, the year literally just started, so I guess we'll see about that. I thought I would bring a little bit of a bonus video to you and discuss my favorites of 2025. Wanted to share these just in case anybody was curious. If you're new here, my name is Katie. I'm 24 years old, and I honestly just kind of do whatever I want to do. I make a lot of vlogs. Sometimes I do sit down yappy videos. My thing is yapping, okay? I just really love to talk. I don't know how to shut up, and I just really love to talk, and I love to make videos and put them on the internet and embarrass myself on the internet. And I like to make friends, okay? So that's why I do this. I wouldn't say I'm comfort creator material, but if you want to consider me a comfort creator, go right ahead. That's on you. If you like that kind of content, feel free to subscribe. I'm not gonna hold you hostage if you don't, but I might sell you to One Direction. So I can't promise anything. Let's go ahead and get this video started, shall we? And if you have any of the same favorites, I would love to know because I love finding common interests with people. I'm gonna start off with opening an Alani. This has been a new obsession of mine. I've got the cherry twist today. I don't know if you could see her doing her thing at the top. I've been trying new flavors the last few days because I literally just got into these not even a month ago. And it's unfortunately a new hyperfixation of mine, and I'm popping one today because I think this video is going to be quite long because again, I really just don't know how to shut up. The first thing on the favorites of 2025 because I realized how much I was missing out on these. So the cherry twist is one of my favorite flavors. I have a ranking list going. Once I try all of the flavors, I might share it at some point. But this, I believe this is number 4. No, this is number 3. This is number 3 on the list. The first one is Juicy Peach, and then the second one is the Watermelon Wave. And then it's this one. I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about this one, but I don't care. Failed to mention that I will be getting ready while I talk about these products because some of them are beauty products and I really just wanted to do my makeup today, okay? So the first of the beauty products is the Bioma Milky Toner. I literally love this toner, especially under my makeup. It's been amazing. It honestly just it makes my skin feel so nice and hydrated. And it honestly helps my makeup stay on so much longer. I was using primer and then it really started to make my makeup separate. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Because I was using a primer that went with my foundation. You know what I mean? They were compatible. And it was still separating. I'm like, what is going on? I realized I haven't seen my cat for a few hours. I wonder where she is. I wonder if she's napping. She might be napping. That's what I would be doing too, girl. I've never shown what I actually do for my skin prep when I do my makeup. I've only done maybe one makeup video, and I think that was a summer routine. I then go in with the Bioma Phyto and Glow Serum. I've literally been using this for so long, and this is probably one of my favorite products I've ever tried in my entire life. And I don't know how I existed before this, I'm not gonna lie. But it's been such a saving grace for my skin and my makeup routine because my makeup honestly just turns out, with the combination of the Bioma Milky Toner, oh, it turns out so good. Oh, it's beautiful. Sometimes you just gotta do a little slappy slap on the face to really pat that product in. Actually, don't slap yourself in the face, just give it a nice little pat. Silly me, I forgot to turn on my ring light. Can you see me better now? I'm not even sure if that made a difference, but I have my window open for some natural light, but I totally forgot to turn the ring light on to really illuminate myself. Not that I need it, but straying away from skincare and whatnot and beauty, this is literally just gonna be all over the place and I'm so sorry about it. It's literally just my favorite things coming off the top of my head. But I've really been slacking on my reading this year, okay? I had a lot of plans to make a lot of reading videos and book videos, but I haven't. But there were a few that I read that have been some of my absolute favorite books this year, and I want to share those as well. I'm going in with my moisturizer, and this is also one of my favorite freaking products from this year. I feel if you know me, I literally talk about this product so much. Literally been such a saving grace for me, and it's such a nice lightweight moisturizer. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, back on the topic of books. I brought up books. Okay, so Quicksilver by Kelly Hart, that book fantastic. A lot of people compared it to Akatar, which I read the Akatar books. Well, I stopped at Silver Flames, okay, so I don't really have any judgment on Silver Flames. But I read the rest of the Akatar books. I don't really understand how people are saying, oh, it's too similar to Akatar. No, did we read the same book? Did we read the same book right now? Another one of my favorite books was Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Oh my god, I literally love Ali Hazelwood so freaking much. A lot of people have beef with her books for some reason because she like writes her characters kind of like in a really quirky way, but like honestly the woman's just really quirky. I'm not going anywhere today, by the way, but I just wanted to sit down and do my makeup anyway because I know sometimes if I'm feeling like in a really weird mood, it makes me feel better. So that's what we're doing. I mean, I guess doing my makeup could be added to favorites of 2025 because I really fell in love with doing my makeup again, because for the longest time I just had like no motivation and I just didn't feel right in makeup, and I had such a hard time actually finding products that I really liked and really worked for me. But yes, this year I really experimented with a lot of things and I really was able to find products that work for me and that look good with my skin tone. All my skincare kind of sets, I am gonna do my eyes a little bit and yap a little bit more about my other favorite things because why not? Of course, if you listen to me, if you watched any of my Vlogmas videos, I did nothing but talk about freaking Heated Rivalry. When I tell you that has been one of the best shows that I've watched probably in my entire life, I'm not even joking. Jacob Tierney really did his big one with that thing because he, oh my god, I saw something about how they had like a really small budget. Not like a really small budget. I mean, most of the budget went into the cameras because those were good ass cameras. But they didn't have like a super large budget compared to a lot of other TV shows. And they still really just made it work so well. A lot of that stuff was green screen apparently. Now, obviously they had a lot of real settings, but apparently it was like Airbnbs, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I still thought it was so freaking good. Like how they executed it all. I don't know. I just think it was so good. And I love the characters of Shane and Ilya so much. Ugh, I could probably go on and on about it, and I won't because we really need to get things on the road. While I'm thinking about it, my favorite album probably from this year, I might have a couple that I throw in here because I'll think about them, but the album that I think about from the top of my head is In Your Fantasy by hotties. I remember when the album came out, I literally could not stop listening to it. That is one of the best albums that I've ever heard released from K-pop idols. And like, it just, oh my god, it was such a, the solos, all of the solos are phenomenal. And of course, the single In Your Fantasy, as soon as I heard the lyrics, I know what you're into, baby got a type. Yeah, I could be gentle, but that ain't what you like. Yeah, I was done for. I knew I was done for. Something about that album specifically just, oof, it really did things for me. And seeing those solos live was just, it hit something different in me. I am kind of sad that I didn't get to see a lot of the other songs because I love their other songs so very much. But I'm very, very thankful that I was able to see the solos because they probably will never perform those ever again. Now, of course, my favorite songs on the album are probably Wooyoung's and Yeosang's. Now, don't get me wrong, those are my bias and my bias record. Yeosang is my bias, Wooyoung is my bias record. But something about those songs really just hit different for me. All those other songs are amazing, but I love Jungko's too. Jungko's just makes me feel like I'm in a K-drama. But Yeosang's and Wooyoung's specifically are just so beautiful. And I am so happy they were able to showcase their talents with those songs. I should have written all of this stuff down before I decided to turn on the camera and start yapping. But you know, we live and we learn, and we're just gonna try our absolute best and go with it from here. Keep up with me and you know who I am. I literally talk about this foundation all the time. I might not talk about it on here, but I do talk about it on my TikTok a lot. So if you really want to, you can go check out my videos on there. I'm not, once again, gonna hold you hostage if you don't. But I literally love this foundation so much, and I understand it's not a release from this year, but it's genuinely one of the best foundations that I've ever used in my entire life, and I love it so freaking much. I have a very difficult time with finding foundations that I actually like how they look on my skin and that don't feel like too heavy because then I start to get really overwhelmed if I have too much going on my face. I like some coverage, but for the most part, I can't have too much coverage. But at least this foundation gives good coverage without making it feel like it's super cakey on the face and that like I have piles and piles of foundation going on. And the finish on it is just so beautiful. I literally love the finish of this foundation so much. A second runner up would be the About Face foundation, but I haven't used it enough to really consider it a favorite of this year. But this Haus Labs foundation has literally been such a saving grace for me. And if I am able to get the money to repurchase it, I will. Unfortunately, it is a $50 foundation, so the likelihood of me being able to repurchase it is very slim. Oh my goodness, hello. Okay, I was talking about my cat and she was under my bed sleeping. I knew she was taking a nap. I know, my baby. If you can see the door moving, that's her. There she goes. There she goes. There she goes again. I just remembered I used this product, I put it on, but I didn't even say anything about it. This is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve. Oh my god, Pout Preserve. Pout Preserve. Words are really hard, guys, okay? Pout Preserve. There we go. This is the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve Lip Balm. It's got like peptides and peptide lip treatment. Yeah, there we go. But I've literally loved this lip balm so much, and I have a problem with biting my lips, so my lips get kind of crusty and they get cracked because I'm biting my lips and I'm licking them, and then, you know, my lips look horrible and crusty. This is one of the only things that has actually been able to save my lips and make them look like all nice and juicy. Fortunate that I don't have to deal with cold weather as much anymore since I live in Texas now. I used to live in Illinois. If I would have known about that when I lived in Illinois, oh, I would have been unstoppable because I would have had the juiciest lips on the market. This is another on my favorites. It's the Hourglass Concealer. I know a lot of people have beef with this concealer, but I quite like it. Now, once I finish it up, I might not repurchase it because I did repurchase another one like earlier this year, and I really want to use up my Tower 28 one, but I really like it as a concealer. I think it works really well for me, but I know a lot of people say that it is really crusty and it dries out really bad on their under eyes. But also, like, if you have dry under eyes, don't be using it. Like, it is not for dry under eyes, that is for sure. It is a good full coverage like concealer though. I really like the coverage of it, but if you have drier skin, she is not for you, I promise. Another one of my favorites this year was Shorzy. Now, if you don't know Shorzy, okay, the character Shorzy himself, he came from a show called Letterkenny, which Jacob Tierney also did. Jacob Tierney did Shorzy, Letterkenny, and he did Rivalry. Okay, all of those shows I absolutely love. So Shorzy was this like really ambiguous, like hilarious, douchey kind of character on Letterkenny. And he played on a team with these two characters called Riley and Jonesy. And, you know, he was kind of like a player, as hockey players are apparently. He would always, you know, chirp at them, trash talk them, talk about their moms, and trash talk their moms. Okay, and then Shorzy became such a popular character. From what I'm assuming, this is why he got his own show. But we never saw his face, okay? We knew he was played by Jared Keeso, who played Wayne in Letterkenny, but we never saw his face. We only heard his voice, and we saw the back of his head. And then Shorzy, the show, became a thing. And this actually really delves deeper into who Shorzy actually is as a person, and I think it's just really nice to see that like this hilarious, you know, kind of anonymous character that we thought was kind of a douche has a lot more going on with him. He's so much more than that, like, and he's the king of yearning. If I'm being completely honest, the yearning that he has for one of the characters in the show is like top tier. If Jacob Tierney knows how to do one thing with his characters, It's urine. Now, I guess you could say another favorite thing is me doing this YouTube channel. I'm about to get a little bit deep and like a little personal, okay? Shut up. Literally always wanted to do YouTube ever since I was a kid. Now, do I want to make it a career? Not exactly, but would it be cool? Yeah, obviously, like it would be cool. But that is not my main goal with it. I've always just wanted to create videos because I just think it's so fun. And I'm a really creative person, but I have to find that one thing that really just sparks that creativity. And for me, it is videos. And I just never had the materials or the time or like just the confidence to go ahead and actually start making these videos until I started book talk a couple of years ago. That really helped me get comfortable with speaking on the camera. Now, honestly, I prefer long form content over short form. I do post short form, but I prefer my long form content, and I really want to be able to grow on this channel because it's something that I've, you know, wanted for a very long time, and it's been one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And this year I'm just really proud of myself for being as consistent as I have. And yeah, so I don't need to put it on a favorite for 2025, but I'm going to because it has been one of my absolute favorite things that I've done with my life, and I don't regret that. I guess while I'm using this, another favorite thing from this year that I have absolutely been obsessed with is these new Morphe brushes, like the ones with the white handles. I don't know what kind of crack they put in these brushes, but they have been so good, and Morphe has stepped up their game so much. I literally love these brushes so much. I have this one, which is the M132, and then I have this one, which is a face one, which is the M204, and I use this for my blush because I really like putting it like under my eyes, and it's just such a nice like dense like tiny brush, and it just works perfectly. And then I have a few of the eye brushes, and these are some of the best eyeshadow brushes that I've ever used in my entire life. So these have quickly become an absolute favorite of mine, and I'm really hoping that I can get a few more because I did get a gift card for Ulta for Christmas, so I might go and get myself a few more just for shits and giggles. I really am realizing how many items I have on my list of my favorites because I just like things, okay? I really like things and I can't help it. I've always been a things girl. If that does that make any freaking sense? I've always just been obsessed with things. Speaking of things, blush. These have been my two favorite blushes this year. I've had this one for a little while, but I've still been obsessed with it. I literally love this blush so much, and it's one of the like longest lasting blushes that I've had. Now, I'm not saying it's like an insanely long lasting blush because unless you really pile up blush on your face, blush isn't going to just automatically stay as pigmented as it was when you put it on. But once you set it with like some setting powder and some setting spray, like it stays fairly well throughout the day. And honestly, I just love this shade Hope. And I honestly think that Rare Beauty is so worth the money. Very rarely do I actually say that certain expensive high-end products are like 100% worth the money. Now, I may love them, okay? And I may spend the money on them and I may love them, but very rarely am I going to say that they are 100% worth the money. But these blushes specifically, I will say I 100% think they are worth the money because you get so much. Like, I think they're like 20 something dollars. I don't remember exactly. Like I said, I haven't purchased one of these. This is the only one that I have. But they're like 20 something dollars, but they have 7.5 milliliters of product, and you literally just need like the smallest amount. This thing is literally gonna last you forever. It has some of the best pigment on blushes that I've seen. And again, like they're longer lasting blushes. Once you really do like all of the setting and everything, like they're good blushes. The other blush that I mentioned is the Haus Labs Glassy Blush Bombs. I personally love this formula, okay? There's a decent amount of product in there. I love me a dewy blush, okay? I really do love me a dewy blush, and that's what this gives. But I will say that compared to this one, this is not as long lasting. Again, the formula is beautiful, like it blends out so nicely, and especially if you want to have like a no makeup kind of day, this is perfect for just like a natural little flush. Obviously, I use it when I wear like a full face of makeup as well, but this is really good for like a natural kind of looking makeup look. I understand it's supposed to be glassy and dewy, but if you want it to actually last, especially if you live somewhere that's hot, then you probably should set it just a little bit, just with a little bit of powder, because it's going to help it last for a little bit longer. It will take away that shine, which unfortunately does suck if you like your makeup a little dewy, but if you have oily skin, probably not. But these two have been my absolute favorites. I alternate back and forth between them. I have just been trying to use this one a little bit more because like it's on a project pan of mine, but I've literally been obsessed with these blushes, and it's really hard for me not to buy more from both of these brands. I forgot to bring this up because I didn't use it, but I also loved the Fenty Eavesdrops this year. This has also been one of my absolutely favorite products. And again, I haven't really mentioned it a crap ton on here because I don't really do a whole lot of makeup videos on here, which I really need to. I really need to get into that. But I mentioned this on my TikTok a ton because for the longest time, I really just loved having like a really nice natural looking base, but I also wasn't dealing with like a crap ton of acne at the time, so I really just liked having not a whole lot of coverage. Really loved this has been like such a nice skin tint. So sorry, I'm like hiccuping and burping right now. Unfortunately, these Alanis really make me burp, but like they're so freaking good. Actually got a couple of my friends to wear this skin tint because I literally did nothing but talk about it, and like they could see how it looked on my skin. And if you really want just like a nice like natural like blurring kind of skin tint, she's pretty dang good. She is like $20 or something, probably more than that. I don't remember. I haven't bought this in such a long time. I really need to finish this. This is also on a project pan because I've had it for probably a little too long. I really wanted to try and like make this entire thing like a little get ready with me, but you know what? I'm gonna keep going, and if I finish my makeup before I finish my list, then I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep yapping with you because why not? This year has reawakened my love for highlighter and once again makeup, but specifically highlighter. And these two, this is the Ofra Space Baby, and then this is the Haus Labs Moonstone. These two have really just opened my eyes to how amazing highlighter is once again. I used to have quite a few highlighters. I had a Wet n Wild one, and then I also have this Jeffree Star one, and this is the Frozen Peach Supreme Frost. This was from so long ago, but it's like, to me, it's not even really like a highlighter. It's literally just like a glitter, but I don't like it as much. I've been using it as like an eye topper, and it's really pretty as an eye topper, but I don't even know if you could see it on the back of my hand, but it's like, I don't know. I don't really like this. I used to have a different one, but I gave it to my friend because they were starting drag. So yeah, but these two products have been my absolute favorite from this year. I don't even remember when I bought this. I think it was this year, but until I purchased this one, I literally used this one every single time that I did my makeup, and like you can see hello, open. You can see, hopefully, that there's a dent in it because I literally used this highlighter so much, and I still use it. I alternate between the two of them, although I have really found an obsession with the Ofra one. As a really pale girl, it's really hard to find highlighters that actually kind of like go with your skin and don't look funky when you look straight ahead. Like, see, you could see it from the side, but if you look straight ahead, yeah, you could see a little bit of it, but it like some highlighters just look really weird when you look straight ahead, and they have like such a weird cast to them. But these two don't do that, and I literally love them so much, and I'm so happy that I actually have a couple highlighters that I like. Do I need more highlighters? No, but it's very likely I will buy more. Another favorite of 2025 has been Love and Deep Space for me. Now, again, if you watch my videos, I have mentioned Love and Deep Space so many different times throughout the span of this entire year. I actually started playing it last year, but I didn't really get into it until this year. And it's honestly just such a good game. Like, I understand it's a dating simulator. I don't care. The animated men are hot. It's actually really fun. Like, once you do like the actual quests, because like it's an like you can actually play a game. Like, there's certain quests that you can do to like build up your cards and whatnot, and yeah, like it's such a fun game, and it has been one of my favorite games from this year, even if it is a mobile game. I haven't really been playing a whole lot of video games. I did get back into playing Kingdom Hearts though, but that's just like a replay. But I don't really think that really counts because I've played it before. I played it a couple of years ago, so I don't think that counts. The setting spray is my absolute all-time favorite setting spray. And, you know, if you really know me, you may be like, girl, that's not your favorite setting spray. That was the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Yeah, this is the Urban Decay All-Nighter, okay? So, you know, this year, Urban Decay, I'm just gonna go on a little rant about this because it still pisses me off. But, you know, Scandinavian Urban Decay, like, they had a little partnership going. Okay, this was the OG formula. Like, this was the shit, but they just weren't selling things. So Urban Decay made a deal with them that they would sell their product with their packaging. But, like, it was Scandinavia's product, okay? And then for some reason, Urban Decay this year, they decided to end that partnership and reformulate their setting spray. So I no longer buy the Urban Decay All-Nighter. I buy the Scandinavia. Oh my god, I can't even talk today. What is my problem? But this is the bridal one. I also have like a little mini size of, I think, like the matte one, but I'm not sure. I don't really like matte makeup, so I might give that to somebody else for them to try. I love this, and I can tell like it's starting to get low, which makes me really sad because I love this setting spray. I have been using it for quite a few years, but like it still remains as one of my favorites. I've tried other setting sprays, but none of them do it for me like this one does. Do you feel bonita? I feel bonita. Good, because you look bonita. A new favorite thing I discovered this year of 2025 was 17. Now, I know, coming from a K-pop stan, I get it. It's a little weird that I'm just now getting into 17, but I literally just started getting into them this year. And you know what part of it was? Part of it was because of the Thunder comeback, and I was seeing just so many edits on my For You page of S-Coups doing the allo part with his biceps. Yeah, they made me decide like, yeah, okay, you know what? I want to really get into 17. I've been listening to their songs before this year, but I never like actually got into them and decided to learn their names. So yes, S-Coups is my bias. Yeah. I've never been so feral about a man before. There's something about him that just like unlocks something primal. You didn't need to know that, but I wanted to share it anyway because that has been such a great discovery for me. While I'm making direct eye contact with this product, this has also been a favorite of mine this year. This is the EOS Moisture Body Lotion, whatever, in coconut waters. Now, I'm a huge coconut girl, and I can't even get it out. Like, that's how low it is. Oh, a little bit came out. Look at that. But it literally just has, I know this is such a bad time for me to like be messing with lotion while I'm doing my makeup, but I'm almost done, so it's fine. But it literally, Oh, it just has such a like nice, like light coconut scent to it. It's literally one of my favorite lotions, and I have such a hard time wearing lotion on my body because, again, like sensory overload, it's kind of like my face. I just have a hard time if it's like feeling too heavy on me. So a lot of the time I will actually use this Cocoa Kind moisturizer on the backs of my hands because I'm a fucking freak, okay? I'm a freak and I wash my hands like as much as I possibly can because I have kind of like a shitty immune system, so I'm very prone to getting sick. I had the flu and COVID multiple times last year. Well, I had the flu once and then I got COVID like 3 times last year, even though I'm vaccinated. So I'm just really prone to getting sick most of the time. So I'm like constantly washing my hands, but then it makes my hands really dry. So I have a hard time doing any kind of lotion. But if I do, it's this one or it's this one, which I know this is a face moisturizer, but like it's lightweight and it moisturizes really well. But this has been honestly like a saving grace because before I found this, I didn't really wear lotion, which I know that's not good. You need to wear lotion. But also in Texas, I don't really need lotion like I did in Illinois because especially during the winter, it doesn't really get dry like that. It's so humid down here. I live in southern Texas, okay, like close to Houston, and it's just so humid down here. Now this might not make a whole lot of sense, but one of my favorites from 2025 is being able to meet and see all of the friends that I've made and that I've had throughout the years. I'm extremely blessed to have the opportunities that I do. Now, obviously, money can be tight sometimes, but if I can go see a friend, I usually will. Now, I got to see my friend Naya in April at the Georgia Aquarium. I've been able to see my friend Andrea. She just lives in Austin, so it's a little bit easier for me to go see her. But she lives in Austin, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to become friends with her. My best friend also came to visit me in October, and I'm so thankful that they were able to come and visit because I normally try to go to Colorado and see them, but things have just been a little more difficult this year. And you know, they even were like, you know, I want to come see you. And I'm really happy because they got to see my Leia, my little lady. Leia was so good. Leia, she's, you know what? Screw it. Leia is also on my favorites of 2025, but she's always a favorite, okay? She is the love of my life. She's always going to be a favorite. So no matter what year it is, she's going to be a favorite. But Leia was so good with Casey, and like normally Leia is not good with people. We'll just say that. Praying and hoping that I'm not out of focus because I had to step away for a second because I had to go take the Browns to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that could not wait. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Closing my blinds because the sun was shining right on me and I couldn't really see what I was doing. This year, I also discovered my new favorite lip combo, and like I actually found lip products that I really like on me. And the first one is the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in the shade Mauveicide. I don't know, I just wear it all the time. Sometimes I pair it with lipstick, sometimes I just pair it with like lip gloss and just wear the liner. This is not the one that I wanted to show you. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, but this is the fair. I wear like the OG color a lot. I like the fair one, but I prefer like the OG Pillow Talk, but I think it's downstairs in my purse, so I'm not really sure where that's at. Hopefully it's in my purse. Also reawakened my obsession with Twilight this year. I'm not really sure how that happened, but you know, I'm gonna add that onto my 2025 favorites because I watched those movies a little too much. Even remember how many times I actually rewatched those movies. I own them now. I ended up finding a movie collection at Half Price Books, I believe, and it was all of the movies. I'm like, that's a steal. I tried them out one day. All of them work. But the funny thing is, I've never read the books. I literally never read the books. I think I read the first one in middle school, But I don't remember because that has been a very, very long time ago. And I don't remember most of the stuff that happened in middle school. And I don't want to remember most of the stuff that happened in middle school. I will be going and reading all of the Twilight books. I actually got the box set for Christmas as a gift from my parents, which is awesome. It's the beautiful, like, I'll show a picture of them somewhere because they're gorgeous. They're stunning and they have sprayed edges, and I don't really care about sprayed edges most of the time, but these ones are so pretty. I'm done with my makeup, but you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and list a few of my other favorites because I should have made a list, honestly, because I think that would have helped me out greatly, but unfortunately, I don't think that far ahead. I don't feel like getting it, but another thing that I've absolutely loved this year that I just recently transitioned to is like drugstore conditioner. I still use high-end shampoo, unfortunately. I just don't know if I can break away from that just yet, even though I know there's really good drugstore options. But I've been loving the L'Oreal Everpure something. It's the one with the purple bottle. It's like the rosemary and whatnot scent. I'll put a picture of it. I really just don't feel like getting up and going to grab it. So I'll put up a picture of it, of what I'm talking about. But I have been honestly loving that conditioner. It really hydrates my hair. And obviously, my hair is bleached. Okay, I bleach my hair myself. It's not exactly salon professional. So it can get a little bit damaged, although I've never had problems, knock on wood, with my hair being damaged after I bleach it. Well, obviously it's damaged, it's bleach, but not like fried, because I'm always very careful with it. But it really has just helped moisturize my hair a lot and keep it from being extremely dry and crusty. And I've honestly loved it. In my opinion, you don't really need to spend a whole lot, especially on conditioner. A good drugstore conditioner works fine. I've also been obsessed with the TheraBreath mouthwash. Now, I made a TikTok about all of this stuff. Well, not all of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't mention. I only did beauty favorites on my TikTok. If you are also a mentally ill Pookie like me, sometimes it gets a little bit hard taking care of your teeth, okay? And this was the year, well, 2025 was the year. I'm gonna like really keep up with it this year, but 2025 was the year that I really started cracking down on my oral health because my dental hygienist told me that I was starting to get gingivitis, and it was pretty bad, and then I could lead to gum disease, and then my gums receding, and that freaked me out. Really started to do everything. I really started to keep up with everything, the flossing, the mouthwash, and the brushing. Okay, I was just doing the brushing for the longest time because I hated flossing, but I've really kept up with all of it. And that TheraBreath mouthwash, I genuinely think has helped me so much because it's targeted specifically for gums and helps with gingivitis. And I don't know, like maybe I'm tweaking, maybe I'm delusional, but it has genuinely helped me so much, and I literally love that mouthwash so much. And I've purchased so many different bottles of it because I love it. It's also one of the less spicy ones compared to some of the other flavors. Some of them are very spicy. Trying to think of favorite movies from this year, and I was like, I can't think of any, but then I just realized Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Not exactly a good movie. The fan service that they had in that movie was absolutely fantastic to me. I love the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. I have been watching the gameplays for so long. I played the first one and I absolutely sucked at it, so I've just continued to watching gameplays of it because if I know I'm not going to be good at a game, I don't even attempt to try it. I love video games, but there are some that I know I would just absolutely suck ass at. So I don't even attempt to try them, and Five Nights at Freddy's is definitely one of them. I've been watching Markiplier play those games literally since the first game came out. So I'm obsessed with that franchise, and that movie was just, oh my god. I think it was better than the first one. I genuinely think it was better than the first one, and it's one of my favorite movies that have come out of this year. Ooh, Sinners. Sinners was one of my favorites from this year. I even got my parents to watch it and they didn't like it, unfortunately, but probably because they just don't get it. but Sinners was probably one of the best movies that I've watched this year. Unfortunately, I do have a little bit of a traumatic experience with going to see Sinners in the theaters because I missed the first half of it because it was like maybe a week and a half after I got my gallbladder surgery, and I apparently ate something that I didn't realize was going to bother me, but it did. I was stuck in the bathroom for the first half of the movie. So yeah, that's a little bit traumatic. Watched that when I went to go see Naya in April, and I have a vlog about it. And I probably talked about it at that point as well. I did go to quite a few concerts in 2025, which I probably should not have, but I did it anyway because I knew this year I really wanted to crack down on things. And my only goal for this year for concerts is BTS. It's the only concert that I will allow myself to spend any money on because everybody else, like AT, Stray Kids, I've seen them. I would love to see them again, but I don't make enough money to go see that many K-pop concerts in a year. Of all the concerts that I saw in 2025, my favorites obviously were Stray Kids, and then AT's, and then Bring Me the Horizon and Motionless in White. Now I did go see Metallica, and that was pretty cool, but I don't really like Metallica like my parents do, okay? But I had an absolute blast at those three concerts that are in my favorites, and I have been a fan of all of those musicians for such a long time. Well, except Motionless in White. Motionless in White, I didn't get like really into them. I've been listening to them off and on, but I didn't really get into them until like last year. But Bring Me the Horizon, I've been a fan since I was in middle school. And Stray Kids and ATEEZ, I've been a fan of both of them since 2019. So being able to see all of those musicians in concert was really special to me because I love their music so much. Hard for me to say that there's musicians where I like almost all of their songs, but Bring Me the Horizon, Stray Kids, and ATEEZ, I like pretty much all of their songs. Now, obviously, if you're a fan of someone, you're not gonna like every single song that they put out, okay? That's just how it is. Unless your musician just puts out absolute freaking bangers all the time, okay? But there's never going to be a musician where you like every single song of theirs. And that's just how it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. Those three concerts have been some of my favorite experiences that I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm really just so blessed that I was able to go see them. I really didn't think I was going to be able to see any of them. I kept telling myself for such a long time, like, I'm never going to see them. These groups mean so much to me, but I'm never going to be able to see them. Am I a little irresponsible with my money? Yes. I am going insanely out of order right now, but it's just like I'm sitting here like thinking, and there's just so many things just coming to my head that I forgot to mention. I also forgot to mention this in my TikTok, but Glamnetic press-on nails are literally my favorite nails. I have some of them from like a couple years ago. Like, for some reason, I have a really bad problem with like hoarding old nails, but this was like the Hello Kitty collection. Oh my god, I never put these on. They're little ghosts. I can't believe I never put those on. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? I guess I'll save them for next year for Halloween. Glamnetic is literally my favorite nail brand, okay? I love press-on nails, but it's also really hard to find press-on nails that aren't super flimsy. And Glamnetic has, I'm not even joking, the best press-on nails I have ever been able to find in my entire life. And if you apply them properly, they'll stay on for quite some time. I've been using them with this Beauty Secret nail glue. This is also a favorite of mine from this year that I discovered this year. Well, I knew about it prior, but I never bought it because I could never find it. But this, on top of the Glamnetic nails, just makes them stay so long. Like, I don't know how well you can see it, okay, but like they are like pretty freaking sturdy, and like they barely bend. I'm putting some pressure on there, okay? But they, oh my God, they're just some of the best freaking nails that I've ever tried in my life. And I wish I had the money to go buy more of them because I love having nails. I feel naked right now, but I love having press-on nails. But sometimes we just gotta have our priorities, right? Glamnetic, sponsor me. No, I'm just kidding. Glamnetic, do not sponsor me. Those are everything that I can think of that I have just absolutely been obsessed with this year and that I've loved and I can consider a favorite. There might be a couple things that I'm really just not thinking about, but those are the items off the top of my head that I will always talk about and I absolutely love and I will never shut up about. But again, if you share any of these favorites, please let me know or just tell me what one of your favorites from this year was because I would really like to know because I love taking suggestions from people and I just think it would be kind of fun to see what everybody has really liked this year. Again, this is a little bonus video, so this will be posted before Sunday. But I hope you have a good day and I will see you on Sunday. Bye! I love you!